Yo, what's up, you guys? Peek out here in Singapore, man. It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm at it again, and I can't help it. I don't know what I'm doing. Um, but I've been talking to an old friend of mine, just catching up and clearing the air about some things. And I wanted to get on here and talk because I suddenly realized something. A lot of people, um, a lot of people get used to meeting new people, right? So, um, it's nice meeting new people. You get to start off with a clean slate. It's almost as if you can erase your entire history. You can choose what to tell them, what not to tell them. You get to pick the person that you are, the way you show up, and you get to start over. It's almost addicting sometimes. I know some people. I have some friends that are chronic in their efforts to meet new people. What ends up happening is they every so often will shed all of their old friends and get new friends in the hopes of leaving behind the knowledge of old habits. So, for example, I know someone who chronically sets the bar very, very low. They do everything that they can to make sure that everyone sees they're just amazing, incredible, they're, beyond belief, pass with flying colors, all of that stuff. And eventually, given some time, the people that are around them for that, those marvelous efforts eventually get to know who they are. Honestly, you can only keep up an act so long. Eventually, you're just going to be yourself, right? So when the time comes and people start to get to know who they are, friendships are tested, their values are tested, they tend to show up in the same ways. Eventually, once they realize that their friends see them, like really see them, and are in danger of leaving, they tend to cut everybody off, isolate themselves for a little bit, and then go and get a new bunch of friends because that means they get to start over. Now, for some people, it's a chronic thing. They do it because it's easier than maintaining the old friendships because they're going to be called into question. You know what I mean? But for others, it's different. The promise of a clean slate means that you will not expect me to screw up anymore. I have the freedom to show up and show you that I am capable of more than you expect of me. And I think that happens a lot more nowadays because the internet makes everything so fast, so quick, so easy to access. Tinder is thriving. Why? Because you get to meet a new guy every night. It means that you don't have to develop a friendship. You don't have to make sure that, um, the way you show up is the same every time. You can be a different person every day if you really wanted to. But like I said, the charade gets old. You're going to want to be yourself eventually. There's only so much you can take. There's only so much fake you can force. Eventually your true nature will come out. The person I was talking to, this friend of mine that I was talking to, I was just catching them up on everything that's happened in the last year or so because I haven't spoken to them. Like, not really. And I was friends with their friends, and it was great to just, get back in touch and talk and everything. But it seemed like I made a lot of mistakes because I didn't know those friends of his. I assumed that they were good people, and I did what I would expect anyone to do if I had asked for help. Unfortunately, of course, um, it fed their true nature, and it seems to have caused some trouble. But you know what? I'm not going to change for anybody. I refuse to turn into this person where I suspect everyone of using me. I refuse to turn into a person who is paranoid about everyone's true intentions. That's too much pressure for me. That's too much effort. That's too much energy. I would rather assume the best of you and treat you accordingly. I would rather assume that you were struggling just like me at one point, that you ask in earnest when you ask for help. I would rather pay it forward that way than ask you to pay me back because I found out you weren't all that you said you were. I'd rather close that chapter as soon as I give you help, as soon as I assist you in whatever way that I can, because I don't want to hold debt. I don't want a balance sheet, y'all. I do not want a balance sheet. I too want a clean slate. So every night when I go to sleep, I wipe the slate clean. I start over again the next day. I try really hard not to hold grudges. I try really hard to make sure that I understand, you know what? They're probably going through some shit. Once they come out of that funk, they're going to come find me. If it's important, if it's not, it's okay too, as long as they're happy and safe. If you come to me and ask for help, I will do my best not to deny you. Now, if you come to me and force me to help, that's a different story. But if you ask in earnest, and I know that you really need help, I'm happy to help. If I know that you need shelter, if I know that you need a safe harbor, somewhere to crash for a moment until you gather your wits and get back up again, I'm happy to be there. It's who I am. I don't look for the underhanded. I don't look for how you're going to bite me in my ass later. It's nothing like that. You want you want a clean slate? You got it. See, I said that backwards. I have no idea what happened just then. I think my dyslexia is acting up. I like the idea of meeting new people because, yes, you get to show up differently. It's part of the reason I introduce my circle to everyone. It's part of the reason that if I know that you're a good fit, or if I know you have something that someone else is looking for, I'm happy to connect you guys. Now, what you've done in your past, that's on you. You own that. I don't own that. And if I really think you're a bad influence, I'm not going to introduce you. It's very simple. But if I feel like you might be able to bring the best out of somebody else, or they might be able to bring the best out of you, I'm going to connect you guys. Because you deserve that opportunity. You deserve a clean slate. Now, what you do with that opportunity, that's on you. You want to backstab and backbite and talk out both sides of your face, that's up to you. I can't help you there. But if you tell me you're looking for help with a music career, if you tell me you're looking for a videographer, do I know anyone? If you ask me for help, I will do all I can. And if I really can't, I will tell you, hey, you know what? I don't know anyone. But I will keep an ear out. I just don't know anyone. I don't want anything from anyone. I do want to leave the world better than when I found it. And if that means it's through making connections or sharing connections or teaching you everything that I've learned to conquer, so be it. In my world, I don't believe in revenge. It doesn't get me anywhere. It takes up a lot of time and energy that I could be doing other things with. I don't believe in loan sharking, meaning to say that I give you something and I expect you to return the favor at some point, favor for a favor, that Godfather stuff. I don't believe in that. If I have it to give, I give. And once I give, it's done. It's finished. There is no debt to collect. There is no repaying me back. You pay it forward. I want a clean slate, just like y'all do. I want a clean balance sheet at the end of the night. I don't give because I want something in return. I give because I can. Now that doesn't extend to my services and products, obviously, because I would like to eat. That would be helpful, I think. But if I have it to give, I will. I understand what it means. I understand the beauty of meeting someone for the first time and not having them judge you because they just don't know. So you have a chance to start out again, do better, maybe. I hope this helps. I hope this makes sense. I hope you know I don't judge any of you guys. I don't have the right. I'm not perfect. I've fucked up a lot. So if you need a clean slate, when you meet someone new, do that slate justice. Show up as who you are. So you don't have to pretend. You don't have to cover up. You don't have to lie ever. Show up and let them be the judge of whether you guys are a good fit or not. It's nice to have a clean slate. It's a really great feeling. It's a safe feeling. I understand. All right, you guys, I'm going to call it a night. I'll talk to you soon. Night.